Okay, if I get your attention, we'll get started. If I get your attention. Okay, so some organizational stuff at the top, just to close out the breaching part of the class. Your breaching assignment grades will be posted on DSpace, which is so much better than us standing outside and hanging them back over a half-hour period of time. I'm sure you'll agree. The grades are from 0 to 100. Remember I told you to be graded like a normal kind of paper, like A, B, C, D, E, F, all that, no E, whatever. So 0 to 100, and grades in general were really good. You all did a fantastic job on this. You threw yourselves into it. I wish that all assignments in this class required your blatant nonconformity. I'm sure you'll all be making A+. So, which is ironic that you're all nonconformists. I don't know what that means. Okay, so, another thing is a lot of people ask for, can we see, one of these breaching experiments that were submitted on video, which I think is a good suggestion. Those of you who suggested it, you're brilliant people. I think it was a great idea. So I'm going to show you now part of the award-winning breaching experiment, the one that won this year's competition, the best out of 450, Nathan Menard. Don't applause too much, you never know, you might not like it. So, but I liked it. That's kind of what the award means. Is Rob was like really impressed. Okay, so we'll watch the first half of this because I think it's hilarious. Okay. Right. What's up? What do you like? And webcast, you can go to...
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm fucking up, and I'm just paranoid. Oh my God, stop. I went to a trick to have my drinks. She said, sex and bring me down. I went to a whore, he said I was a floor. Jump without what they could just break it down. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm fucking up, and I'm just paranoid. Grasping to control, so I better hold on. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm fucking up, and I'm just paranoid myself.
It's like, I don't care about nothing, man. Rolling up one.
A little bit of this. This is good, too.
Yes, no, baby. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're bossing me now. You're bossing me now. You're bossing me now, and you're not so big. You're bossing me now. You're bossing me now. You're bossing me now, and you're not so big. Life is unfair, so I just stare at the stain on the wall where the TV been, but ever since we moved in, it's been empty. Why I'm in this room, there is no point explaining. You're bossing me now, you're not so big. You're bossing me now, you're bossing me now, you're bossing me now, and you're not so big. Life is intense, but I confess I like this mess I've been so far. Great on a curve, and they'll observe I'm right below the horizon. Yes, no, maybe I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're bossing me now, you're bossing me now, you're bossing me now, and you're not so big. You're bossing me now, you're bossing me now, you're bossing me now, and you're not so big.
Sanko, this is Officer Jimmy. Looks like we got 2 Rastafarians down here on I-10. Definitely some marijuana, possibly some firearms. Need 2 SWAT cars down here.
All right, nice work, Nathan. So one thing I like about Nathan, so much I like about Nathan's breaching assignment, but one thing I like about it is it totally illustrates the impossibility of doing breaching in Berkeley, where, because I asked him, like, what happened to the security guard that was giving you a hard time afterwards, and he just said, you can do all this crazy shit you're doing with wearing all these clothes, that's fine, we encourage that, but just don't have the video camera on, because there's some sort of corporate rule about having video cameras on in the store. So the breach was fine, he just wasn't allowed to videotape it. And while some people were alarmed, like, a lot of people were totally not alarmed or were amused by it. Like the Target woman who's like, oh yeah, nice outfit, And the security guard's like, oh, this is fine, this is all fine, just not the video camera. So, all right, so, nice work, excellent work. So, what did we talk about last Thursday? Let's recap. One thing we did was we introduced the Cool Hand Luke essay assignment, which you've all seen Cool Hand Luke by now, or if you haven't, you have a very short period of time to watch it and study it very closely. We all had a great time watching Paul Newman in the 1960s, working out in the sun. And now you need to write an assignment, an essay, analyzing themes of conformity and obedience in the film Cool Hand Luke. It's due this Thursday, and you want to write about conformity, nonconformity, obedience, disobedience, any of the above, any of those, or all of them if you like. And you want to make some claim and then support it with evidence from the film. What kind of structure should it be? It should be about 4 to 5 pages. It'll be graded. It'll count for a decent amount on your grade, so you want to take it very seriously. I want you to do it 5-paragraph essay style, and this is some kind of brief brief recap on what kind of essay style that is, and it doesn't have to be exactly 5 paragraphs, but that sort of style. Don't pull any bogus margins or spacing, double space, 12-point font, yada, yada, yada. And we'll evaluate you both on the structure, your ability to conform to this assignment of having a thesis and then supporting it with a structured essay style, and then also on your ability substantively to make a claim and give evidence and support it. So what are some possible theses? You can make a relatively simple thesis or claim that you'll then support with evidence from the film. An example of that could be II000 is a film that's centrally about disobeying authority. You can make that the thesis of your essay, and you can definitely support that. There's a ton of evidence from the film in support of that. Or you could do something maybe more complicated, like II000 demonstrates how nonconformity and disobedience, though socially unacceptable, are essential individual happiness and fulfillment. And that would be an interesting essay you could write about how Luke requires nonconformity and disobedience in order to be fulfilled as a person. Any questions about this? Okay. All right, great. So I look forward to seeing your essays on Thursday, and I'll probably try to grab a couple of the coolest of these essays. I'll probably try and grab a couple of the coolest theses to present in class. Okay, cool. So obedience to authority. We were doing the obedience to authority lecture on Thursday. We got about halfway through it. So where were we? Okay, so we presented the definition of obedience to authority, and then we talked about the famous story about Abraham and Isaac, and this biblical example of obedience to authority, which has many, many interpretations. This isn't a theology class, so I encourage you to look this up somewhere else. But it's an interesting way to illustrate the significance of themes of obedience to authority in the history of literature and human thought. Then we talked about the Milgram experiment, and we recapped in a fair amount of detail how the sort of basic study design worked, as well as the results for a few specific conditions in the experiment, including one where there's no appearance of the Confederate, they're just a voice, and no voice, they're just pounding on the wall, very high rates of obedience, but also the one from that's roughly the same as the one in the film, where the Confederate, the learner, is, while being shocked, has verbal complaints that are played over an audio system, and about the same levels of authority. And then these conditions where the learner is coming closer and closer to the teacher, even to the extent where the teacher presses the learner's hand down on a shock plate, apparently electrifying this person right next to them, and we still find surprisingly high rates of obedience to authority. And I'll remind you that these rates of obedience to authority are rates of people going all the way to the XXX 450 volt level. They're not just rates of any kind of obedience at all. So in this 65% here, the other 35%, a fair number of them are pretty high on the scale. Okay. So then we talked about some other conditions, yada, yada, yada. More and more conditions. Women do it about the same rate as men. I believe that was replicated in the study that you watched. Didn't they replicate this finding that women obey about the same rates as men in the film that you watched? No. Let's see here. Okay. Yes. Okay. No, we already did that too. Okay. So we did the Thomas Glass meta-analysis, which showed that there's no correlation between year and rates of obedience in various replications of the Milgram experiment. So as we've gotten further and further from the early 60s, rates of obedience in the study haven't particularly declined, and this is so much so that the replication you watched from Santa Clara University found about the same rate of obedience as in the original study from the early 60s. Okay. William Shatner, got to talk about that. Every session we talk about William Shatner at least briefly. And we talked about some factors that affected obedience to authority, or rates of obedience to authority. And those included the proximity of the victim. When the victim's closer, the teacher, the subject of the study, tends to obey at a lower rate, probably because they're more aware of the harm they're doing to the learner, and they're also more aware that the study is totally, entirely real, because they can see the learner going through all this agony, being shocked. Also, the proximity of authority matters, probably for a variety of reasons as well. The closer that the authority figure is, this experimenter who's played in the film, who says freaky stuff like the experiment must continue, that guy, the closer he is to you, the more you tend to obey his orders. And there's a variety of reasons for that, including that people may actually get afraid of this skinny man in the white lab coat, which I think we all would be. So what are some conclusions? Now this is new material. What are some conclusions that come out of the Milgram experiment? Well, one is that, well, this isn't really a conclusion, but it's an implication, is that obedience can lead to belief. If you obey authority and follow directives of an authority figure, you may at first feel tension and discomfort. You may first feel cognitive dissonance because you don't want to kill this person. You don't want to administer these shocks to this person. But what may happen over time is that your thoughts tend to fall in line with your behavior. Remember that coming out of the cognitive dissonance part of the class, one of the central observations was that people walk into social psychology thinking you have a thought and then you have behavior, and that thought creates the behavior. But it's just as much the case in the history of social psychology research that we find that behavior comes first and then thought tends to follow. That circumstances, the power of the situation, maybe orders from some authority figure, can compel you to behave in some way, and then thereafter your thoughts will tend to fall in line with that behavior. That's why we try to get alcoholics to just quit drinking. We don't try to get them to not like drinking. That would take forever. We try to get them to quit drinking, and then their thoughts will sort of fall in line with that abstinence from drinking. And the great illustration of this is the $1, $20 experiment, right? Where these people go through a study and they're told, or they go through a study that's incredibly boring, right? Turning pegs in holes like quarter turns at a time for like a half hour. An awful, awful experiment that none of them enjoyed at all. And then they're asked, or they're told by the experimenter, go tell the next person in the study that this study is awesome, that this study is just thrilling and exciting and the best time you've had all semester. And they do this. They all comply because people tend to do what experimenters tell them to do, as the Milgram experiment gives evidence for. And it's a small request, right? So 100% of them do it. It's not like asking somebody to shock somebody to death. And in a condition where they're given $20, they say they don't change their belief at all. They say, okay, the person told me to tell somebody a lie, but I was paid $20. I was bought off. I have a good reason for this. But in a condition where they're asked to lie to the next person, they're asked to tell them turning pegs a quarter turn at a time is very exciting, and they're only given $1 to do this lie, they feel great dissonance. And so what do? They decide that the actual experiment was interesting. And what is that? Is that Fessinger and Carl Smith 59? I think so. Okay. So that study illustrates that obedience to authority can create real belief as a result of cognitive dissonance. You obey a directive. Can you be quiet, please? Thank you. You obey a directive to lie to somebody in the study, and then you later decide, oh, it wasn't a lie, I really believe this. And so it's very much the case that when can you guys be quiet? I just ask you to be quiet. Okay, if I have to ask anybody multiple times to be quiet and lecture again, you're out. You're out of here. And I'm totally serious. It's starting to really under my skin. Okay. Okay, so, sorry. Okay. So obedience to authority can lead to real belief. As people fall in line with the directives of authority, they may then come to endorse them as a way to reduce their cognitive dissonance. Okay, another conclusion coming out of research on obedience. Obedience is not conformity. It is not the same as conformity. This is a very important distinction. A lot of people lump the two together and don't make a distinction between the two. They just kind of think of them as the same thing. And they look a little bit the same. In both obedience and conformity, you're influenced. You do something different than what you would have done otherwise, were you on your own. So that's one commonality. There's influence in both cases. But in terms of the source and reasons for the influence, it's very, very different, right? In conformity, you imitate what others around you are doing. And we talked about two different ways in which you might do that: normative influence and informational influence. You might imitate and replicate the attitudes or behaviors of people around you, either because you think they got it right and you're trying to figure out what the right answer is, or the right appropriate thing is to do, what the right answer is in the, say, the Sharif experiment, or you might do it as normative influence, where you're doing it to not look stupid, not be embarrassed, to try and get social approval or avoid social disapproval. So two different ways in which you can conform. In obedience, you follow orders from an authority figure. So inherently, obedience requires some kind of hierarchy of power, authority, social standing, where one person is perceived as a legitimate person who can give orders to another person. So obedience involves following orders, conformity involves imitation. So the Milgram study does not demonstrate conformity. Well, in one condition it does, and in that condition it's when there's two people that disobey, and then you tend to conform to their disobedience and not obey authority. That's a study where they almost set up Ash versus Milgram, which is bigger, conformity or obedience to authority. You have a question? Okay. So the Milgram study does not demonstrate conformity in general, except in that one condition. It is oriented towards demonstrating obedience. So it's not the case that the guy in the white lab coat is shocking someone to death, and then you do it to fall in line with what's apparently normative to conform to what seems appropriate. You're not conforming. Rather, he's telling you what to do, and you do it as an act of obedience. Okay. Another big conclusion. This is a big conclusion that we're going to hammer over and over in this class. I'll get to you in a second. And it's that the situation matters, not the individual, okay? You look at the rates of obedience across the different conditions in the Milgram obedience experiment, and you see some pretty big differences, right? So conditions can be made where nearly everyone will obey. Remember that the very first set of conditions that Milgram tried to do, he just had somebody's outline against an opaque or like a translucent window, and you could see some indication there's a person there, and then you're pressing these buttons. And in that condition, essentially 100% obeyed. And he was like, wow, that's too high. I would actually like a lower rate of obedience, which is an interesting reaction. And so conditions can be made where everyone will obey, but just as much the case that conditions can be made in the Milgram experiment where essentially no one will obey. Remember the Ash versus Milgram condition, where there's two disobedient Confederates. You still have the dude in the white lab coat giving you orders saying the experiment must continue, but you have two role models who are exerting, informational and normative influence on you, saying, or essentially saying, they don't say it, I don't think, but they say, I'm not going to do this, and then you tend to fall in line with their behavior. And obedience to authority drops to about like 10%, I think it was. So we can make a condition where everybody in the study will obey 100% of the time, and we can make a condition where essentially no one will obey in the study. And so what does that mean? That means that if you wanted to know if somebody was going to obey or not in the study, you want to know what condition of the study they were in. You wouldn't want to know what was their background, how they relate to their parents, are they extroverted, are they altruistic. You want to know which condition of the study they were assigned to. And that's a great insight on social life, right? That if you want to know how somebody's going to behave, it's extraordinarily important to understand the context of their behavior. Essentially, what conditions are they being assigned to as they find themselves in social life? Yes, you have a question? The question is, alcoholics sometimes struggle to quit drinking, and until they can establish a new identity as a not an alcoholic, they fall back off. And I would say that's totally consistent with the thesis that you have to come to view yourself as someone who isn't an alcoholic, and that happens as a result of establishing a pattern of not drinking. But especially with alcoholism, there's a physical addiction involved that's very hard to shake. It can be as tough as shaking heroin or something. So, it's an extreme example where it's extremely difficult to set up the behavior leads to belief cycle. But I think actually it's a pretty good example. Yes. The question is, given that people tend to obey at such high rates in certain conditions of research and obey at such low rates in other conditions of these kinds of studies, is it the case you could get off in a trial, from like a murder charge by saying I was just following orders? We're about to get to that. We're about to get to a famous trial that maybe partly influenced the creation of the Milgram experiment, where that exact defense was used. So that phrase comes from the trial that we're about to cover. So we'll get to that. Look. No. Well. Yes, okay, so you can have a situation where everyone is following orders, and you're receiving orders as well, and there's both conformity and obedience pressures to do some behavior, and if you didn't do that behavior, you would be both a nonconformist and disobedient. Does that make sense? The question was, is there ever a situation where disobedience involves nonconformity? Since I'm saying they're not the same thing, do they ever co-occur? And they definitely do co-occur quite a bit. Remember that obedience pressures are so high, and the tendency to follow orders is so strong, that it would probably typically be the case if multiple people are getting orders, that you would then face both obedience pressures and conformity pressures as everybody else falls in line with these orders. Then you would be like, oh, not only do I feel the pressure to follow orders, but I also feel the pressure to act like my peers. Other questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes, has conformity pressure ever been applied to understand the dynamics of juries and possibly reform dynamics of juries? For example, might it be best for juries not to deliberate as a group, but maybe deliberate as individuals, since they might exert influence over one another? And we certainly wouldn't want it to be the case that maybe a very influential person could swing whether somebody's guilty or innocent just because they happen to be on that randomly assigned to that jury. Research has definitely been done on conformity dynamics in jury settings, though it hasn't led to significant reform of the way that juries work. Though there may be all these good reasons for that I don't know about. They may have found in research that group deliberation is helpful for coming to the right decisions. I don't really know. But there is conformity research on jury dynamics. And there's a wonderful, wonderful film, which a lot of people watch in social psychology classes that you won't watch here, called 12 Angry Men, that's about interpersonal influence and conformity dynamics in jury settings. You should check it out. It's really good. Yes, last question. We'll get back to it. Nope, sorry. Yeah. The question is, can nonconformity ever kind of exert its own conformity pressure? And that's like the Berkeley dilemma, right? Is how can you not conform in a place where nonconformity is conformist or normative? So I think it's the case that certain styles of nonconformity, like being goth or whatever, can then become their own subcultures and exert their own conformist pressures, and really, really quickly, right? Like if you look at the uniformity of the way goth people dress, there's clearly conformity going on in that nonconformity. The same goes for the way punk people dress. Really, any subculture that has an identifiable pattern, style, dress, or appearance, or speech, or whatever, there's clearly conformity going on. One wonders what it would be like to have true, pure nonconformists that literally look like no one else in the way that they adorn themselves. They probably look like Nathan walking around Target. So I agree. Nonconformity can eventually kind of hit critical mass and become its own sort of conformity. Okay, so getting back to this big takeaway, that's one of the biggest takeaways from the class. You're going to hear me talk about on the first day of class and the last day of class. The situation matters, not the individual. Well, we're not going to say the individual doesn't matter, but you come to this class to find out how much the situation does. And one of the big stories you're going to get from this class is the situation matters more than you realize, more than most people realize, and more than they realize when they walk into a social psychology class. That's why the fundamental attribution error exists. That's why we tend to do the correspondence class when we make attributions, because, well, for one, it's vocalism, yada yada.